Welcome to Happiness Matters podcast edition. I'm Goddess Valentina, the healing goddess. I have a passion and quest to help anyone whose heart is open to receive love, enlightenment, and just a heartfelt message. I will continue to add to the universe light and inspiration for the people. When you feel better, you do better. Today's message is, why does bad things happen to good people? I used to say that too. I'm like, I'm a good person. I don't know why this is happening to me. This is so crazy. Okay, over that now. I consider myself a decent and kind of good person. Bad things used to happen to me a lot, and I was entangled in some mess. And it deals with emotional intelligence and wisdom and discretion. And sometimes a good person does not make the best decisions for their life. And when they don't make good decisions for their life, they can bring in drama into their life. They can make bad decisions, and every action, there's a reaction. And sometimes good things happen to bad people. I can't believe this guy is such a horrible person, and why is this thing happening? He's getting this, he's getting that. Now, if you do something from the bottom of your heart, no matter how bad a person can be, if they do something with a pure intention, they will get a pure outcome coming back. It's a universal balancing system. So there, of course, they will, if they do a lot of bad, then it will come. And trust me, they go through it in their own way. But if they do good, then good also will come their way. Just like for us, for other people who, good things, we consider ourselves good people or whatever. If we make good decisions, then, good decisions will reap good rewards. And if we make murky, kind of really lukewarm or not the best decisions, then you're going to get some kind of shitty outcomes. And when you believe in people that don't believe in themselves, when someone is manipulating or con artisting you, when someone sees you have a genuine heart, they use and play that as their weapon, as their fiddle, not everyone has your best interest at heart. And when you walk around with an open heart, people can see that. And in Holy Scriptures, they talk about having the breastplates, on. Why did warriors always cover their chest with armor and different things? It's your heart. You need to protect it at all costs. Physical, emotional, spiritual. You need to just protect your heart. And just because you have good nature doesn't mean you are weak. You know what I mean? A good natured person is strong, but they also need to have discretion and wisdom with that as well. I think that, when you lack of some emotional intelligence in one area or another, you need to seek counsel, and somebody says to me, like, well, how do I, acquire more knowledge? I'm just going off what I was taught, and I'm just going off that. And that will only get you so far. I have studied and I made bad decisions. And 10 years later, I'm still paying for some of them, and made some bad financial decisions with an ex-husband that I had. And, just going off, weird emotions and things, and not having, just giving up. I was at a place of just defeat, and I was just like, whatever is going to stop the bleeding, whatever, I don't care. And yeah, it has caused me some setbacks from that, being in that place at that time, but soon, in time and soon, I'll be able to get out of this mess and, look forward to a brighter day, going forward. But I've gotten entangled myself, out of a lot of things, and through the divine, knowing that I wanted to be untangled, things and pathways have cleared, for me to walk through. So it's knowledge base. What are you studying? How are you gaining wisdom? You could just start by slow. If you see something on, you're going to follow somebody for a while on the radio or podcast or TV, and that you find them very knowledgeable, stick with that, and after a while, move on to another, source of knowledge. There's so much out here, and we are supposed to be evolving, constantly. We should never stop. This is what I know, and this is how I am, and that's it. And that's someone that's not going to grow. And I'm all about growth and expansion and movement and seeing what can I achieve every day that I wake up. How can I move forward today? What can I achieve? How can I grow? How can I widen myself? These are things that, we should be thinking about, and just acquiring more wisdom and knowledge and strengthening our emotional intelligence. It's so important for that. And so this is how bad things can happen to good people. Not being wise. And it can happen to anybody. You could trust that one person by just having that heart of gold. And that one person has their own intentions in mind. And you do that one favor, and they say people get burned. Yeah. When you get burned, it's an unfortunate situation and can cause people misfortune. But there's also tools and lessons to learn not to do that again and to avoid these type of situations. Getting snagged in gym contracts. There's one contract. My husband wanted to join the gym, and so we joined with Retro Fitness. And I don't know if anyone's listening that's with Retro Fitness, but to get out of the gym contract, it states that you need to be permanently disabled, permanently, like paralyzed, even amputee. If you're not disabled as an amputee, you can't get out of the contract. It is the most evilest contract I've ever heard in my life. I've written to the Better Business Bureau and things, but because I didn't ask the questions, I had to pay money to get out of it. And that was a little bit of financial misfortune. So, yeah, I mean, there's a lot of karma too, karmic buildup, that happens too, things that we've been racking in. If you've never asked for forgiveness, you could be a good person, never ask for forgiveness. I would say before I got on this journey, I was not big on gratitude. I was not big on giving a lot. And I was not big on forgiveness. Good person though. But I didn't understand why I need to do those things. I can see the difference in my life now with what I do now with these tools of gratitude, giving, and joyous spirit has made me so much more powerful as a person on this earth. And anytime I might be in a tight corner or something, there's always some reprieve. And it's just like a banking account. The more you do from a genuine heart, the more goodness you rack up in a bank. And when you need it, that reserve is right there, your safety cushion. And if you really do some really disgusting stuff, it's like a ATM withdrawal. The money's in, it's just coming out. So this is how this stuff happens. And once you start to realize it yourself and see, and you shouldn't like make a note, okay, I did a good deed today. What am I going to get tomorrow? No, just forget about the good deeds. Just do them. And eventually, when you need it, you'll have it. It'll come. Guaranteed, it'll come. So I hope this was kind of insightful It's the decisions and the emotional health, you know? I was raised with a emotionally unhealthy mother, and as a child, you're just watching this horror show and you just don't know how much stuff is seeping through you as a kid. You just don't know. And then things start showing up in your life. You start making decisions that are not even based on you, but just what you saw and what seeped into you. And you have no idea why these patterns and things are repeating in your life. And you're like, what is this? Why is this way? This is not me, And sometimes we create an energy. I did this. I started to create a vibe or energy that I wanted to be. I wanted to create this type of energy around me. Boy, when I created that energy around me and when I started to pull away from it, it was very difficult to pull away from the energy that I created. And I noticed that that energy also brought in a lot of weird element that I didn't want in my life. And it took a while for me to realize it and to clear it. And I thank God that that energy is no longer coming through me, that I'm not eluding that I'm not a part of that energy. And those elements that were drawn to that type of energy are no longer drawn to me in those ways. And I'm really excited about that because it just made a very uncomfortable environment for me, just walking around. And we can be our own nightmares to ourselves. It's not always the other person. We are co-contributors or contributors to what is going on. We are not victims here. We do everything to ourselves by our thoughts, words, and actions. And that's why we need to hone in, pull it in, and to really understand what's coming out of our mouths. What are we saying? Why are we saying it? And how can it affect the other person too? And then we have to also be protective of ourselves. What is this person saying to us and how will it affect my life? And if it's not going to affect my life or my family's life positively, then, I'm not going to do it. So there's things to think about. There's a lot of things to think about. Anyway, I hope this message was helpful and insightful. I am Goddess Valentina, and my channel is Happiness Matters. And I'm so glad you're listening to it. I also have an Etsy shop where I sell. My shop is for people who are on a spiritual path, who are into cleansing and raising their energy, removing stagnated energy, negative energy around them that a person has accrued or has been issued to them. Meaning, like, if somebody's talking about you, say you have a behavior that really pisses people off, and people just start talking about that. I can't believe so and so. They're really a pain in the ass, or they're really just like, a hot mess. So when people are not speaking favorably about you, you don't know this. Sometimes we do, but sometimes we don't know the magnitude of it. And that energy will be surfacing around you. So it's always good to constantly do cleansing and clearings of energy and moving and being in intention of thought and asking for, please remove anything that's not from my highest good. Please forgive me of anything that I have done and things that I have no knowledge that I have done, and have gratitude for. I'm grateful just to be here today. I'm grateful for another chance to get it right. You know what I mean? I'm grateful for my family and different things. But when you say it, really, just really think of something that really means a lot to you, and have that feeling about it, that energy about it. And when you do, it's just all blessings that comes your way. So my shop, I do a lot of cleansing baths, home blessings, raised energy in your homes. When we're outside in the world, we could bring in energy into our homes. So we need to be careful that it's our energy in our homes and not what we bring in. So constant clearing our homes of energy and baths and, just a lot of energy healing. So if if that's something of interest, my shop is called Happiness Matters 88 on SD.com. And if you search under shops, not in a regular search, you have to go under shops. If you search under shops, you'll find my shop. It's very bright. It has lots of brass and gold, and it has a lot of beautiful, it's a high energy site. And when you see my items, your energy would just raise just by looking at them. And I also do enlightenment readings from wisdom. I've created it from scratch, and it's a beautiful personal work of art I've done. And I've created 3 different decks of wisdom. And I go into my place and of prayer meditation, and I pick 3 cards or so, and we discuss what wisdom and how to bring that forth in your life, and how to use it as an antidote, a tool to enhance your life and to make it better. And it could be just as simple as, have more laughter in your life. And that could be a kind of a quest, because if you haven't laughed in 5 years, now you need to work on getting more laughter. Could be a little bit challenging. Yeah. So it sometimes is the simplest things could be the most challenging in our lives. But anyway, thank you so much for listening. And this is Goddess Valentina. This is Happiness Matters, the podcast edition. And I'm so happy that you were listening to this message. And you are a gladiator. There's no victims here, ever. If you're listening to this, you are a gladiator, a warrior. It's the people that are not here today that have gone, So have a good one, everyone. Take care.